Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Michelle Arscott, and I'm part of the Ignite Global faculty. And let me just introduce my colleagues, Aida, and then Kamunya.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Michelle. I'm Aida Akstiniene. I'm ICF credentialed coach, PCC coach, focused on individual and collective development.
Great,
Kamunya.
and I'm Kimunya, uh, also an Ignite Global faculty, working toward my PCC credential, and it's a pleasure to be with you here today.
Fantastic. So this is a video part 2 because Ignite Global are doing the competencies, digging a little bit deeper to help raise your awareness and also to understand how it builds on from the one-to-one ICF competencies for one-to-one coaching. So we are doing competency 2, which is embodying a coach mindset, which is one of the most important competencies because the coaching mindset means everything. Yes, there's the technical skills and everything, but it's really about how you show up. This mindset is going to influence greatly the quality of the team coaching session. Now, if we dig deeper into the actual definition, I'll just actually read it, which is develop and maintains a mindset that is open, curious, flexible, and client-centered. Now, this is applicable to the one-to-one, but also extremely applicable to when we're thinking about the team coaching. If we don't turn up with this mindset, then we're not going to have a good coaching session. So thinking also always about, regardless of what is going on, how can I have an open mindset and just be very present and in the moment and looking at the factors that are around me? How can I be curious? What is going on in this team context? What is not being said? How can I be agile and flexible? So very much responding to the moment and things that come up, a comment, a shift in energy. How can I be client-centered? And the most important thing when we think about the team coaching is the client is the team. Yes, it is about the individuals that make up the team, but ultimately, the word that comes to mind is our master. But ultimately, the master is the team. So we are always thinking about how we respond, what we feed back. Is it honoring? Is it helping the team? So that is the overview. Now, if we look at the one-to-one, and again, I'll just quickly whiz through that so we just see how it parallels, because the team coaching competencies sit on top of those one-to-one competencies. So just quickly, we go through it, acknowledging that the client is responsible for their own choices, engages in ongoing learning and development as a coach, develops an ongoing reflective practice to enhance the one's coaching, remains aware and open to the influence of context and culture of self and others, uses awareness of self and one's intuition to benefit the client, develop and maintains the ability to regulate one's emotions, mentally and emotionally prepares for the sessions, and seeks help from outside sources when necessary. So this team coaching competency is building on this foundation. And ICF added 2 further points to make it relevant to the team coaching competency. That was engages in coaching supervision for support, development, and accountability when needed. And the second point was remains objective and aware of team dynamic and patterns. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig deeper into those 2 points and explore them with the team coaching mindset. So we'll first look, Aida and we will first look at engaging in coaching supervision for support, development, and accountability when needed. And as you can see from the competencies, that very much builds on those one-to-one, because the supervision really helps you to be mentally and emotionally prepared, This is a way of seeking help when you need it. And there's other points that are very relevant to supervision. Now, Aida and I had the privilege of doing group supervision together as part of our ACTC process, but also to be better coaches. Because yes, we're thinking about credentialing, but number one, it's how can we be a better coach? So we both experienced supervision, which was very, very powerful for us. And ICF have recognized the importance of supervision because now they're specifically saying, as a team coach, for example, if you're doing the ACTC pathway, you need to have a supervisor because it's that powerful. So team coaching is extremely complex. That is the big difference, because if you think about one-to-one, you're just focusing on one person. As a team coach, you're concentrating on a whole team, which will bring all the different dynamics, all the different tensions, etc., etc. So this is where team coaching supervision really supervise you, really supports you, because it's extremely more intense, and supervision allows you to reflect. It allows you to bring to the supervision context something that maybe you're worried about, something, and often when I think about my own practice, maybe it was that one person who's not playing ball, who seems to be antagonistic, who seems to be against the team. So the supervision space is a great way where you can come and you can reflect in a safe space on how to support the team, how to work with that individual. Now, Aida and I were in a group context, so that was fantastic. You would come and the supervisor would say to you, what is it that you want to gain from that experience? So if I use that example, I'd come to the session and I'd say, I'm finding it really difficult to handle this outlier. And then you would share the context, obviously in that confidential space. You would share the context, and then your wonderful group members in the first round would just ask questions that come up. I'm wondering if you're bringing some baggage. I'm wondering if there's an external point that's influencing this. So they would just literally bring out questions that come to mind, which from the person who's in the supervision context, it's amazing because some of those questions might trigger you and make you think, oh, wow, yeah, actually, I'm bringing my own bias, or I'm bringing my own baggage, or wow, I didn't think about the cultural context or the gender. So it really is an amazing experience. And then as part of the process, the other members will also offer potential solutions, potential ideas. And then you will sit with that and you will think about, okay, and you will reflect and say, wow, this is really resonating with me. I need to think about this. So that's a very simplified sort of explanation of a supervision, but it's so powerful because it helps you think more. It helps you think bigger picture. It helps you think about systemic things that might be happening, the meta lens. So it's very, very powerful. And actually, I highly recommend that everybody has a supervisor. And Aida, I'll pass to you as well. And if you can add any points about this really important point about the importance of having a supervisor.
Thank you, Michelle, indeed, for such a beautiful sharing about supervision. And I just want to add on what you've said as team coaching. Supervision, for me, is a very important part of embodying coaching mindset. Now I can firmly say it after I've experienced it together with you. And as you said, it's such a powerful tool to add on what we can do individually to reflect, to regulate, to supervise ourselves. And with the help of a supervisor, we can see our blind spots. We can see much more what we are not unaware, what we are unaware of by ourselves in team coaching engagement. As you mentioned, Michelle, this is different from individual as it's so complex in terms of there are not one the client is one, but it's such a complex system of spoken and unspoken expectations, of conflicts, of biases, of rules, and it really comes with a package of what we have to deal with. And for example, talking about examples, I would also would bring into supervision such concerns of mine as, for example, I'm pulled towards one person in a team, or I feel tension between what a team leader wants and what a team wants, or I avoid addressing difficult conversations or conflicts, and it's like a parallel what's happening in the team, and I'm unaware of that is my reaction to that pattern that emerges in the team. Or I notice that I'm on urging to help team, like to be that helper. So different topics I would bring to supervisor, and I can see what I can observe, and without judgment for myself, that I just have to acknowledge that and upgrade myself and be better at that next time, and then bring it to the team coaching setting. What else to add?
Yeah, I think that's, I think it's something that I'd say, go and try it, because then you really do, um, extreme the power, and it does enhance you. And just to clarify, actually, as you were talking, I was just thinking maybe there could be a bit of confusion about mentoring and supervision. So when we're thinking about mentoring in the ICF capacity, that is specifically going into those core competencies and really digging deeper into those. Whereas I think with the supervision, it's really about that reflective space, about how I'm showing up as a coach. So that deeper reflection. But it's just an amazing experience. So if you've not been supervised, go and find a supervisor. One point, if you are on the ACTC pathway, ICF have said that for supervision, that you need to have a supervisor who is ACTC, who's done the ACTC pathway. So that is a change that ICF have introduced. So I think that's an important point. And then I think now, if you're okay, Ida, we'll move on now to the next point, which really builds on what we've been talking about, because the point is, as a team coach, you need to remain objective and aware of team dynamics and patterns. So as we've said, you could potentially bring to the supervision space that discussion about the team dynamics and patterns. So I'm going to pass over now to Kamunya, and if you could share your perspective on this part of the competency from a team coaching perspective. So thank you, Kamunya.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle and Ida, for that wonderful foundation. And I don't think I can emphasize more how important it is to remain objective and to bring awareness of where the team is, and more often than not, where the power play is within the team. Because sometimes the assumption as a coach, you might walk into the team and think that the power actually lies maybe with the team leader or with the CEO, and then only to realize that the real power lies somewhere else, in another team member who's very, very quiet, or who is not very overbearing or, in your face. So when you're coming into the team coaching space, or engaging with a team, as a coach, it is very important for me to always wear that hat and say, who is in the room? Where are they at? What is the intention? Because again, everybody in the team is coming with an expectation of what they want to get out of the coaching process. And so therefore, as a coach, you need to be aware of all these nuances that are walking into the room at the same time. And without objectivity, then it's very, very easy for you, as Ida mentioned earlier, maybe to focus on one team member and ignore the others who are in the team, or maybe you're not aware of what they're bringing into the session. And therefore, what I found really works for me to remain objective is to be very clear about the expectations of the session even before we come into the session. So we are very clear about what we are coming to engage with, what we're unpacking, even what some of the team members' expectations might be beforehand, even before coming into the session. And this could be, virtually or by email conversations before the session. And therefore, when I'm coming in with an objectivity. I'm coming in to help the team think together, come together. But there are two characters who can show up, or who I've seen showing up in the team coaching sessions. One is the overbearing. They're in your face. They know what they want. They're very forceful. And the other one could be the intellectual, maybe, if I could put it that way, in the room. The one who just sits back, or the one who sits back and she's just observing everyone. And what I've found is that introducing a core coach who we work together with to come into the team coaching session, what they do is that as I'm responding or as I'm engaging one team member, maybe with an exploration, that she is also looking around the room and she's actually reading the room and saying what else is not being said verbally, what the body language that is coming through. And what that does is that it also brings in objectivity. And what then we've done with my coach is that we have our own code in terms of she will not come in and just say, ask a question, but we have our sign language. And I know she wants to interject. And therefore, what I will do is that I will bring her seamlessly into the conversation. And what that does is that it brings in not only the objectivity, but awareness of what the team dynamics are and the plays that are there and the patterns that are evolving. Because ultimately, at the end, what we want to do is to help the team to move towards their intended outcome as a team, not as there are different individuals in the team. So I can't emphasize more the importance of objectivity, awareness, and understanding the team dynamics and patterns. And I think that also goes back to coach supervision, because then what coach supervision does is that it helps me as a coach to be aware of maybe my shortcomings, because again, I'm a human being. I have my own values. I have my own beliefs and all that, which could also cloud my team engagement. And therefore, the supervision, what it does is that it helps me work on those in the background so that I'm able to build myself to be a better coach, to show up for my clients in a more meaningful way.
Brilliant, thank you. So fantastic. So you can see there we've really deep dived into the supervision point and also that objectivity and that awareness of dynamics and patterns, which has been said is very, very complex. So I think anybody else got anything else to add?
Not much.
Yeah, maybe something, an analogy from my part of the world, and this is for all you coaches, is I'm trying to translate it directly. It goes like something like a doctor might not necessarily be able to heal themselves very well or treat themselves very well. And therefore, say the same thing with coaches. You need that supervision to help you stay on track so that you're able to not only learn, but also dig deeper into their competencies.
Yeah, and that's a very important point. So thank you very much, colleagues. So Ignite Global are doing a whole series of videos. So this is just competency 2. We're covering all of the competencies. So definitely recommend with the rest of our faculty. So you can really dig deeper into the team coaching competencies, which, as I said, are building on the competencies for the one-to-one coaching. So wherever you are, thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of day. And thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.